Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And today I'm here to show you how I made the card that I shared as part of the Trip Achievers blog hop that went live today. I made this card a little while ago, and I made it for my ink and paper stampers team swap. So we are a team of about there was about 13 of us, and we did a swap earlier this year, and the theme was anything from the either the annual catalog or the current mini catalog, and so it kind of left us, wide open for lots of choices. And this was my card. I used the Merriest Moments bundle uh, from the July to December. I always get that tongue twister. July to December mini catalog. And I love this bundle. It is one with a 3D embossing folder. And so you can actually emboss and cut all in one go. It's perfect. So let me switch over to my desktop and I will show you how I made the card. Okay, so this is the card that I shared and I made. And so I love holiday cards that are in white and night of navy. And so that's what this is. And I have this front piece is actually a piece that is embossed and cut out of, well, you use the embossing folder and a die to cut it out and emboss it all at the same time. And I've used some vellum in behind. It looks like snowflakes. And so I've used some vellum in behind just to give it a little bit of texture. And then I have stamped and used some white embossing powder on the sentiment and a little bit of bling. And I love this, the white sparkly organdy ribbon. So let me show you the products that I used. First of all, this is the bundle. So this is the Merriest Moment stamp set, the dies, the Merriest frame dies, and then this amazing 3D embossing folder. So this die, which is the outline piece, you layer it, if I can get it going the right way, there we go. You layer it right inside and it clicks into place. When you get it, it fits very solidly around the shape. You put your cardstock on it, and then you will be able to emboss it and cut it all in one go. So you end up with that piece. So this is the bundle that I used. And now let's bring in the supplies. So all of the written instructions, measurements, and supply list for this card will be on my blog, and the link to my blog will be under this video when it goes live so that you can go out and get it if you miss anything as I go along. So you need a piece of cardstock. This is Night of Navy, and it's cut 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm just going to take my card base and score it at 4.25. And then I'll grab my bone folder. And I'll get them going the right way. So this is the side I scored on. So it's got the little indent. This is the bump or the mountain. So I always fold into the mountain. I know I say that on all of my videos, but it's almost a reminder to me as well to which way to go. Okay, so I've gone ahead and already embossed this. Isn't this stunning? It is just so pretty all on its own. You don't actually need anything else. So just a label like that, then this card would be stunning. And you can see that this embosses it just beautifully. Got the snowflakes and the pattern around. Now, when you adhere vellum, you will find that you will see your adhesive under the vellum because it doesn't cover up your adhesive. So I always try to adhere, and I'm just using Stampin' Seal where I know my vellum will be covered. So this piece of vellum is actually cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So just a little bit bigger. I just do it that way because I find that if I cut it to be kind of what the normal mat size would be for the first layer, which would be 4 by 5 1/4, you don't get as much of the snowflakes around. So this one I've cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, just to make it a little bit bigger. Now, I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and this I've actually cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is a quarter sheet. I'm just gonna layer my, so again, put your die in on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on, and it will fit perfectly. The die side is up, so this is the cutting side is up. Layer your cardstock or designer series paper or basic, whatever it is you're going to use, and this is just going to run right through. So I'll just take this off to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and so the layering for this in your Stampin' Cut, this is a hybrid folder, so you need your base number 1 and your base number 4 when you're running it through, and then just the embossing folder in between. So you don't need any of the cutting plates or anything else. And when you bring this out, so the die can come off, and now don't throw this piece away, the negative, because you could use this on a card and layer it with something else. But this is the piece that cuts, and I don't know, can you see all this amazing embossed imaging? It just is so pretty. Now I'm going to take and lay it right over top of the shape that I've already have embossed. So I'm going to cover that up, and trying to remember whether I used dimensionals. I believe I did use dimensionals on this. So we're just going to put some dimensionals on this. Quite a large piece, so I'm going to just add a couple more in the middle. Take the backs off. This is going to go right over top of the embossed shape on the vellum, like that. And I went ahead and cut, there is a die, if I bring in the dies again, that cuts out this stitched rectangle shape that fits perfectly in the center. So I went ahead and cut one of those out of Night of Navy. So you just need I want to say a scrap, but you need a piece of Night of Navy that's about 3 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and that will fit that. And I'm going to use Versamark to stamp the sentiment, which I didn't get out. So I'm going to use this one that says, "Thinking of you this festive season." I have a block. And I'm going to stamp this using Versamark. Let's ink this up. If you don't have a pad of paper like I do, you want to make sure you've got your piercing mat. So I've got that. And then I've got my white. Don't know that I got that very well. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and stamp it again. I just don't feel like I got a good solid image on that because I kind of picked it up just a little bit too quick. I want to make sure that that's better. Just want to make sure I had all of the stamped image covered in Versamark. Now I've taken my embossing powder and put it into this small container because I just find it easier to dip my pieces inside as opposed to trying to sprinkle it, and then I get embossing powder all over the place. So I just find it easy. I have 6 of these. I have 1 for each of the different colors of embossing powder. Just keeps it kind of in one place for me. Just try and get. All right, so I'm going to bring in my heat tool here. So it might be a little bit loud. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool just to hold this in place so I don't burn my finger. And you do want this on the highest settings. So just hold it down until, no, you probably won't be able to see this, but hold it down until you see the embossing powder start to melt. There we go. And then you can start moving it across the whole image. And it will go much whiter and shinier. So it loses its matte kind of finish and dull finish. And so you can tell that you've got it all fully melted on. There we go, I think that's it. I just love the look of an embossed image. Okay, so now this is gonna go on like that. And before we do that, I've got some of this is the glittered white organdy ribbon. And I'm only gonna cut about, you only need about 3 inches or so. And you're gonna fold it in half like that and just cut some nice tails on it. And we're gonna tuck that up underneath using a glue dot. I've got one here. So fold it in half. Just put it on top of the glue dot, pull the glue dot off. And we're gonna just tuck this underneath like this onto the back. And then we're gonna use dimensionals to pop this in place. So I'm gonna hold that in place with a dimensional. This can come off. That. And this will go right in the center, like that. And then I've got 2 different embellishments here. I've got, these are the holiday rhinestones, and I have, gosh, I've used a lot of these. So I've got a few of the Night of Navy. So I'm just gonna add a couple of the Night of Navy onto the white image. One there. And then the other embellishment that I have is these silver and clear epoxy essentials. And they come in different shapes. So there's the teardrop ones, the diamond shaped ones, and circles, and they are in silver and clear. And so I'm going to use one of these the largest size circle ones. We'll just put it on there. Okay, so that's the front of the card. Now I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to stamp the Season's Greetings sentiment on here using Night of Navy. And then there are these great little snowflakes that stamp. So I'm just going to do some snowflakes down in the corner. And I'm going to use some liquid glue on the back. And we are almost done with our card. Get that in there. All right, so there's the card. The dies, the bundle that this comes with just makes it so easy to create a beautiful card because it is the 3D embossed image. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that card. If you haven't checked out this bundle, you really need to have a look at it because it makes just absolutely stunning cards. If you haven't taken the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I hope you will do that. That way you'll be notified when I post my video tutorials or when I go live. I'd love for you to join me and so that you get notified and then you'll know when I do that. All right, thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions as you're watching this video, just pop a comment underneath. Or if you're over on my blog getting the supply list and the written instructions and the measurements, you can always ask a question over there as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Happy stamping.